Welcome to 9th grade, how to make freshman year count. We've put together some information for you so that you can make the most of your high school years. We want to make sure that you plan for the next 4 years as well as making plans for post-secondary goals. So the counselors have put together this for you with information from the state, from our district, from research, and some observations that we've made throughout the years with our high school students. So what do you need to graduate? The state has specific requirements. We're going to look at them here. 4 credits of English, 4 credits of math, 1 of which must be Algebra 1 and 1 of which must be Geometry. 3 credits in science, 1 must be Biology 1. Everybody is going to take the FSA for the reading and for the Algebra 1 EOC. You must score a 3 or higher, which is proficient, on these tests to graduate. You also need 3 credits in social studies, 1 full year of world history, 1 full year of U.S. history, and then in your senior year, you're going to take a semester of U.S. government and a semester of economics. Many of our students aim to get the Scholar Diploma designation, which means that they've passed their EOCs, which is the end of course assessment at the end of certain classes like U.S. history and biology and geometry. It also means that they've taken rigorous science classes and rigorous math classes. Many of our students also plan to attend a state university in Florida. The minimum GPA requirement for most state universities is a 2.5. They have certain score requirements and course requirements, which are very similar to the requirements that we have to graduate from the state of Florida. In addition, they want 2 years of foreign language, which would be sequential in the same language. Here it looks a little simpler. 4 credits of English, 4 credits of math, 3 credits of science, 3 credits of social science, 1 credit of practical or performing arts, and 1 credit of HOPE, which is personal fitness and PE. Now, if you are in JROTC for 2 years or marching band, that's going to waive the need for practical or performing art, and it's going to waive the HOPE class. Everyone needs 8 elective credits, 1 online class, and you're going to need to pass your reading and your Algebra 1 EOC. In addition to that, you will need a 2.0 minimum GPA to graduate. That's a 2.0 unweighted. People just look at GPA. They see your transcripts. They see the types of classes that you've taken. They see if you've been successful in honors or AP or dual enrollment. They see your ACT and your SAT scores and what sets you apart, such as your community service hours and your extracurricular activities. Take a look at the university that you think you might be interested in attending. You can see their stats for each year for their freshman class. What was the average GPA of the student that was admitted? What was the average SAT? This will help you know if you're on track for that university or not. Your SAT and ACT scores are comprehensive. It gives the college a good idea of what your foundational education is. Polk County Schools has a wonderful website with a wealth of information. A lot of people are interested in taking driver's ed around your age. Once you're 14 and a half minimum, you can take the driver's ed class on Polk Virtual. That will count as your online credit and will also help you get your learner's permit. You can find that information on the website. When you go to FLVS, it's going to ask you if you want the county option. You're going to say yes, and you're going to select Polk County. This is the exact same curriculum as FLVS, but it employs a Polk County teacher. It helps Polk County schools with funding. So we do ask that every time you're on Florida Virtual that you select Polk, and then your counselor will approve the class if your parent has let your counselor know that they're in agreement that you have an online class. Google Bright Future Scholarship. It'll take you to the state's website where you'll see other scholarships as well. But the Bright Futures is something that's very important. Some people want to go to a university, some people want to go to a trade school. Bright Futures has a scholarship for both university and trade school. You need to make sure you're familiar with the high ACT and the high SAT score that's required to get the Bright Futures. The Bright Futures assists you with tuition and in some cases pays full tuition if you're at a state school in Florida. It also requires the coursework that we require for you to graduate from high school. If you're interested in joining the military after you graduate from high school, go to the website of the branch of service that you're interested in joining. On the screen, you'll see the goarmy.com website for the Army. Some people go straight in and serve, and then they can get a GI Bill and pay for their education later. And some people prefer to go to college first. There's many different ways that the military can assist you with your educational needs. Some people do the National Guard and go to college at the same time that they're serving in the National Guard. There's all kinds of options for you with the military. If this is something that is interesting to you, there's certainly some advantages as far as tuition payment, and it's also very good career options, and you will learn a trade. At the beginning of 10th grade, all sophomores take the PSAT. The PSAT is an indicator of how well you will do on the SAT. It's used for other things as well. It can be a concordance score for the Algebra 1 EOC on the math section. The highest achieving students in the National Merit Scholarship Program are designated as National Merit Scholars. This is from taking the PSAT in their junior year. So taking it in 10th will help you prepare. The PSAT can be practiced easily on the College Board website. As a matter of fact, you should spend a lot of time on collegeboard.org. There's such valuable information there. Collegeboard.org is the company that has the PSAT, the SAT, as well as the AP test. So you're going to find a wealth of information about tests and about college and about preparation and career choices on that website. It's one of my favorite websites. The official SAT practice can be used to prepare for the PSAT and the SAT. You make your College Board account and it will connect you to Khan Academy. And Khan Academy makes a personalized study guide for you. It sees what you do on the practice test and it helps you improve the skills that you're scoring lower on. And it's absolutely free. Another great website is FastWeb. FastWeb can help you find colleges that have the degree that you're seeking or the type of school that you're looking for. It can help you with career options. It can help you with financial aid, but most people use FastWeb to get scholarships. It's a pretty good idea to go ahead and make a separate email just for scholarship searches. When you make an account like FastWeb, you may start to get a lot of email and you don't want to clog up your regular email. Are you an athlete? If so, you want to go to the website for NCAA. It gives you a lot of guidelines for your academics and requirements to play Division I ball. So make sure you look at the NCAA website if you're an athlete so that you know ahead of time what the expectations and the requirements are. One thing that we have found that helps a lot of students stay organized is using just a simple 2-pocket folder. The plastic ones seem to last throughout the year. The paper ones tend to tear up before the year's over, so it might be worth the extra few cents to get the plastic folder. Label one side to do and one side turn in. You know all those loose papers that you find in your backpack at the end of the year, and you know that you would have gotten an A if you had turned some of those in? Now you have a catch-all for that. So anything that you need to do, anything loose that doesn't go in a binder, put on the to-do side. Anything that your parent needs to sign or see goes on the to-do side. When you get that signed or when you do your homework assignment, anything that you need to take back to school the next day, you put on the turn-in side. You're going to be amazed at how organized you can stay now. When the teacher asks for the homework, you simply get it out of the turn-in side and you turn it in. It helps you stay organized and not have all those loose papers in the bottom of your backpack to find when it's too late to turn them in. So how do you keep your grades up? We hope we've given you a few ideas. We hope you'll find some good ideas of your own and share them with us. We hope that you're on Student Portal checking your grades every day. We hope that your parents are checking your grades as well. We briefly want to cover dual enrollment. After 9th grade, when you've had 6 high school credits, if you have a 3.0 GPA, you could consider taking dual enrollment classes at Polk State College. We offer some of those classes on our campus, which makes it easy, especially if you aren't driving yet. You do have to have a 3.0 GPA, and you also have to have a PERT score. We want to make sure you understand what community service hours are. Many scholarships require them, like the Bright Futures that we went over earlier. They're not a requirement to get your diploma, but they are a requirement for the honorary Summerlin diploma if you happen to attend Summerlin. But many scholarships do require them, and it looks really good on your transcript, and some colleges prefer that you have community service hours when you're applying to them. So some basic rules about community service hours. The agency that you do the hours for has to be not-for-profit. It isn't just that you don't get paid, it's that the agency that's doing the activity that you're working on is a not-for-profit agency. Also, the activity has to be a community service. It has to be something that benefits the community in some way. You cannot be compensated in any way for what you do. We also want to clarify activities at church. Unfortunately, many activities at church cannot be counted because they are for the sole purpose of evangelism. If your church has a food bank, however, you can log those hours as community service because they're providing a service to the community that is not evangelism. You cannot count vacation Bible school. You cannot count daycare or childcare at church. So food bank is about the only thing that's really going to work at a church. We ask that you make a copy of the hours before you turn them in. And make sure that it's legible. Your hours have to be signed by the adult that supervised your activity. A couple of other basic rules about community service. You can't get any more than 8 hours in a day. You're not allowed to get community service hours during school hours. Volunteer Polk is an excellent website. We suggest that you look at that website if you're trying to find community service hours near where you live, or maybe you have a certain interest in a certain field and you'd like to get your community service hours connected to that. It is our hope that this information has been helpful to you and will assist in you having a very successful freshman year. Find your counselor's name on this list. At Bartow Senior High, you're divided up by last name, so you look for the first letter of your last name to see who your counselor is. IB, your counselor is Miss Marsh. Summerlin Academy, your counselor is Miss Brister. In addition, we have Mr. Rogers, who assists our students who are at risk of not graduating. Once again, thank you and have a great freshman year.